peasant movements in India. Now at first, Kheda peasant movement. Kheda peasant movement. Kheda peasant movement. Kheda peasant movement was started in 1918 in Kheda district, Gujarat. Kheda district of Gujarat. The reason behind the Kheda peasant movement was the Bombay Presidency. The Bombay Presidency increased the taxes in 1917 and 1918 by 23%. The peasants of Kheda district were unable to pay high taxes levied by British. The peasants of Kheda were unable to pay high taxes levied by British, and due to crop failure and plague epidemic that is the causes were unable to taxes. Vallabhbhai Patel led the Kheda peasant movement. Kheda peasant movement. And Gujarat Sabha was organized. Gujarat Sabha was organized against and M.K. Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was its spiritual leader and supported by Vallabhbhai Patel, Narhari Parikh, Narahari Parikh, Mohanlal Pandya, Mohanlal Pandya, Mohanlal Pandya, Ravi Shankar Vyas, Ravi Shankar Vyas, and Indulal Yagnik, Indulal Yagnik, Indulal Yagnik. They supported the Kheda peasant movement. Now, the result of Kheda peasant movement, Kheda peasant movement, British government reduced the taxes and declared that current year tax and next year tax would be suspended, and all confiscated property, also called land was returned later sometimes later the movement, Kheda peasant movement came to end. Later, Kheda peasant movement came to end in the year 1918. Eka peasant movement of 1920. Eka peasant movement was started in mainly in the region of Awadh, in the year 1920. Awadh region was dominated by the talukdars by the talukdars and jamindars. Talukdars and jamindars. They leased talukdars and jamindar. They leased outland to tenant farmers and collected huge rents and a lot of additional charges. Our region was dominated by the talukdars and jamindars. They leased out land to tenant farmers and collected huge rents and lot of additional charges for the additional charges from them collected revenue for British colonial Eka peasant movement was led by Madri Parsi, who led the Eka peasant movement. Madri Parsi. The men demanded of the movement for the reduce the men demanded for the reduce rents that was increased increase 50% of the recorded high tax, recorded high rent. Later demanded was accepted. And Eka peasant movement came to end. Now question from here. Now question from here. Eka peasant movement. The place here is where Awadh region against talukdars and jamindars against raised 50% rent. That is the reason of the movement. And Madhuri Parsi was the leader of the Eka peasant movement. In the year 1920. That is all from the Eka peasant movement. Awadh Kisan Sabha of 1920. Awadh Kisan Sabha was formed to fight against the landlords and talukdars who demanded from peasants taxes and rents. Awadh Kisan Sabha 1920. Awadh Kisan Sabha was formed to fight against the landlords and talukdars who demanded from peasants taxes and rents. Awadh Kisan Sabha was formed by Baba Ramchandra and Jawaharlal Nehru in 1920 again for the welfare of peasants. Now question from here. Awadh Kisan Sabha was formed against landlords and talukdars Awadh Kisan Sabha was formed by Baba Ramchandra and Jawaharlal Nehru. That is from the Awadh Kisan Sabha. Now next question, Bardoli peasant movement. Bardoli peasant movement. Peasant movement. Bardoli peasant movement. Bardoli peasant movement. Peasant movement. Bardoli peasant movement took place in Bardoli in Gujarat against the British British government increased the tax, increased the land revenue by 22%, which the peasants of Bardoli had to pay British government. Bardoli peasant movement. Was led by Vallabhbhai Patel. Vallabhbhai Patel. Under the leadership of Vallabhbhai Patel, peasants of Bardoli decided to refuse payments of their taxes British government had to cancel 22% of land revenue, British government had to cancel 22% of land revenue and set up Maxwell Broomfield Commission. Maxwell Broomfield Commission. After the rigorous survey the raise the tax 6.03 and returned confiscated land to farmers. After the success of Bardoli peasant movement, after the success of Bardoli peasant movement, the title of Sardar was given to Vallabhbhai Patel by the women and peasants of Bardoli. After the success of Bardoli peasant movement, the title of Sardar was given to Vallabhbhai Patel by the women and peasants of Bardoli. Now some other points on Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the first deputy prime minister first deputy prime minister, first deputy prime minister, prime minister, and the first home minister of India from 15 August 1947 to until his death in 1950 on the death of on 15 December. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the first deputy prime minister and the first home minister of India from 15 August 1947 to until his death on 15 December in 1950. Now Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, known as the Iron Man of India, and also known as Bismarck of India. Bismarck of India. Bismarck of India. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, after the independence 562 princely states merged with Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. After the independence 62 princely state merged with India, but except Jammu Kashmir and Hyderabad and Junagadh of Gujarat. Later merged with India by the effort of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Vallabhbhai Patel. After independence, 562 princely states merged with India. But on 16 October 1947, 16 October 9 20 sorry 26 sorry 26 October 1947 Maharaja of Kashmir Hari Singh Maharaja of Kashmir Hari Singh handed over the instrument on 26 October 1947. Maharaja of Kashmir Raja Hari Singh handed over the instrument of accession to Jawaharlal Nehru and Jammu and Kashmir became an integral part of India. Jammu and Kashmir became the part of India on 26 October 1947. Now Hyderabad, princely state Hyderabad, became the part of India by the military operation Polo, by the effort of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. In 1948. Hyderabad, princely state Hyderabad became the part of India by the military operation Polo by the effort of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in 1948. Now, Junagadh, princely state princely state, Junagadh princely state march with India, in 1948 by the effort of by the effort of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Now next question. On 21st April, we celebrated 21st April. We celebrated National Civil Services Day. National Civil Services Day. National Civil Service Day because the first Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel addressed the newly formed and newly appointed administrative service officers and Sardar Patel referred them as the steel frame of India. In 1947. At the Metcalfe House in New Delhi. On 21st April, we celebrate National Civil Service Day because the first Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel addressed the newly formed and newly appointed administrative service officers and Sardar Patel referred them as the steel frame of India in 1947 at Metcalfe House in New Delhi. In 2006, the Government of India declared as 21st 21st April as the National Civil Services Day. National Civil Services Day. On 31st October, we celebrate as the National Unity Day. National Unity Day every year to mark the birth anniversary of the first deputy prime minister and first home minister of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was born. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was born in Nadiad, Kheda of Gujarat. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was born in Nadiad, Kheda of Gujarat in the year 1875. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was born 31st October in 1875 at Nadiad in Kheda of Gujarat, and he died on 15th December in 1950. He was died. Now next question from peasant movements in India. All India Kisan Sabha 1936. All India Kisan Sabha was an important peasant movement formed by Swami Sajananda, Saraswati at the Lucknow session of the Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress in 1936. In 1936. Now, Swami Sajananda Saraswati was the first president of All India Kisan Sabha of All India Kisan Sabha and the first general secretary N.G. Ranga. N.G. Ranga was the first Secretary General. Now, All India Kisan Sabha, 1936. All India Kisan Sabha was an important peasant movement formed by Swami Sajanand Saraswati at the Lucknow session of Indian National Congress in 1936. Swami Sajanand Saraswati was the first president of All India Kisan Sabha and the first general secretary was N.G. Ranga. N.G. Ranga was the first Secretary General of All India Kisan Sabha. Now next question. Peasants. Peasants also known farmers. Now, National Farmers Day. National Farmers Day of India. National Farmers Day of India on 23rd December. The fifth Prime Minister of India. Fifth Prime Minister of India. The fifth Prime Minister of India, Chaudhry Charan Singh. The fifth Prime Minister of India, Chaudhry Charan Singh. The fifth Prime Minister of India, Chaudhry Charan Singh, who was the Prime Minister of India from 1979 to 1918. His birth anniversary is known as the National Farmers Day. National Farmers Day of India. National Farmers Day of India. Chaudhry Chaudhary Charan Singh, who was the former fifth Prime Minister of India. Chaudhary Charan Singh, who was the former fifth Prime Minister of India. Chaudhary Charan Singh is also known as the champion of Indian peasant. And also called the leader of peasants. Chaudhary Charan Singh, former Prime Minister of India, as the fifth Prime Minister of India, is also known as the champion of India's peasant, and also called the leader of peasants. That is all from the peasant movements in India.